Senior Council Member Richard Masereje, a very old friend of ours. Welcome.
Thank you, Betty. I think I have enough gray hair. Enyo ekyesebe bulebe ng'ekikwira mu Lungereza olw'okuba bali bandi bali mu baka nyakuluganyika. Bano mmere bati ganikye lwengo namwe Lungereza. Yombi. Okay, I will start with English. Now, the NAMCA leadership, and actually gratitude to the founder members of NAMCA, our members of parliament, the union leadership that is here today, our guests who have been able to come, that are not necessarily Ramasava. I see my OB Mugerwa here. I don't know where he has gone. He's there. So I was very glad to see them. I saw Mr. Tamzi also yesterday here. I see OHT was with me. Thank you very much for being able to join us. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the leadership of NAMCA for organizing this convention quite well, and those who have been able to travel. A team from UK who were there last time, they are there in big numbers. Thank you very much for being here today. I would like to convey greetings from Welukosi Mpukwela Masaba. He's not been able to be with us today, and technology also was not very friendly. We'll be able to address you tomorrow. My duty today is to be able to look at some highlights of some of the key issues that we've been grappling with for a long period of time. When we come to the issue of language, back home in the Bugisu, language defines who we are. The moment somebody speaks, you will say, oh, that one comes from this part of this. You don't need to say 2, 3, 4 words before somebody knows where you come from. But that's not only us, because I remember at the time of Jesus, I think who tried to forge around, and the moment he spoke, they said, no, that man speaks like a Nazarene. So they defined, language defined where the person was. Bugisu itself is not a very big place, by the way. I think it has a radius of about 40 kilometers, because when you come from Bale town to Rakaka border, it's about 40 kilometers. Again, when you go up in the north, again, another 40 kilometers gets you to another border. So it's a place which you can sail for the hills or run across. But today, we have 6 districts plus 1 city. And we're still asking for more. Now, interesting enough, most of those districts are defined by language, if not all of them. The timing, and it is that very same language that has been the driver of most of these issues. The foundation of NAMCA around 2001, if I count about 23 years ago, 22 years ago, is not by accident. That coincides with the creation of Sironko district out of Bale district. It's about that very same period. And again, you'll notice that the creation of Sironko district out of Bale district, again, has got a language divide. It defines it at that moment. Soon thereafter, you have the creation of Ududa district. Again, the creation of Ududa district is defined again by language. So you continue having all these creations, supposedly searching for development, because I think we had this belief that say, oh, if we have a district which I have development, so everybody who speaks this, they all say, we shall be together. Unfortunately, it appears to have been elusive. It did not create, even the districts that were created, as they were created, when Xronko was created, they said, okay, now this is one. The next day, they created Bulambuli. When they created the remaining Mbale, thought, okay, that is settled. The next day, they created Manafa. When they created Manafa in 2005, it did not stop there. The next 1 year, Bududa, and there was small variation in the way they speak. One, I think some add math at the end. Just 1 year like this, you could not put them in the same pot. Bakanema and the others. Sure. 1 year, and you know, the government of the NRM government has been very generous. Whenever we run and say, no, this one speaks differently, they give us a district. So they gave Ududa a district for those who have Kanye matter. Then the ones in Manafa, but unfortunately, they changed the name of Bubulo and they changed it to Manafa to appease the people of Mangia up. But 1 year later on, they ran away and they left these people with the name Manafa, which didn't make sense to them. They left them together. The next day, after some time, there are these ones that my brother Chris was talking about, not our people at the border. Those, no. Those other people are oppressing us. They also created a district in Amisimba. So this single language for us has been so elusive and it's been at the core. And then we have a very nice narrative that when we ask for districts, oh, we shall get development. But the development never comes at the end of the day. The road to, until recently when you go to Rakaka Road, the road from Bubulo to Duda is still the same. The road from Namagumba to Dadiri through Honorable Nandala's home is still the same. Now, understand His Excellency is going to launch the road to Dadiri, that ring road, I think maybe a few weeks from now. So maybe that will make a difference. But so we've had this elusive issue with created divisions on account of language divides. Every hill has its own language, and every hill wants to have a district. Now, when we can't have a district, we ask for a sub-county. You go to Masiche, somewhere there where they will see you. They couldn't put me in the same pot. They created the Masiche sub-county. There's Wohonje, there's everywhere. Everybody, if they don't get a sub-county, they have a town council. Honorable Nanda, don't you have a town council? He has very many. Now, if you look all of them, each of them has got their own. But how far are we going to go by trying to do that? Now, when you look at the timing of NAMCA and many other, you are seeing a people grappling after creating all these small things. They come back and say, okay, but how do we come back together? And so you start seeing the NAMCAs. The people are grappling to answer a question. We've tried to look for this development. We tried to look for it by each of us working separate ways. And then we say, let's come together. So you see about the same time, both people who are out in America, in Canada, back home are trying to find a way of coming together. And they take refuge and come back to their own. When they consult the late Muyinga of Bugisu, the framers of the Constitution of Uganda were very good because they had put a provision under Article 178 that districts that want to operate on matters of culture that's including language and other development. All they needed to do was have a charter, table it before Parliament. Once Parliament approved, that was okay. And indeed, our people ran to that clause. They thought it was the best way. But again, one challenge is we take too long on matters. From 201, they start again running up and down, trying to find that elusive thing. By 206, again, there was no answer.
No chance to ask the Prime Minister.
Because everybody is speaking their own. No answer. Come 206, the very same law gets amended. And parts of our brothers from the bigger communities. You know, Kint was a great leader. He went and united Baganda and created a big kingdom. So I just wished he had stayed at home. But maybe would have done better. Yes, he went down and be able to put up a big kingdom. Now, so come to 06, this Article 178 gets amended, and presumably to address the issue of our big brothers. To create, I think, address the federal issue and create regional tier and the like. And then down the road, they say, no, that act is going to take away power from our Kabaka. They change to, we don't want it. It was thrown in the thing. But remember, our people have been trying to utilize that. They are moving forward. Down the road, we say, maybe let us go to Article 246. But Article 246, are very smart people, had a provision that those who want to have a cultural leadership should first wait for a law to give them guidance on what to do. But what do? We say, no, you give us also. And our people are very vigilant. Our political leaders are vigilant. And that's how it leads to the birth of India Masala. We say, no, let's have an association or whatever form. And we move on. And our president was very generous. When he was advised that actually there was no law, he said, but these people have a right of association under Article 37. Unfortunately, Article 37 was creating something else. But nonetheless, they told us you can have your cultural leader. And we were very happy. So that's when we woke up. A few months later, by the way, that's in November 2010. I'm giving you the context of this background of what's happening. That's November 2010. In February 2011, they passed the law. What has the law done? The law creates, institutionalizes a cultural leader. The law does not create a cultural institution. It creates the Kabaka of Uganda as a corporation. So it creates the Omukoka as a corporation. So it does not create Uganda Kingdom because that will create a problem. It creates the Chabazinga of Busoga. But for us, as we were doing, we have put our thing together, we keep it. We fight for it. Now, we've been grappling with that, and other people I won't be able to put here. From just immediately after 2013, the problem is realized. But the problem is not addressed because we didn't want to face the reality. Instead, we go into denial. And we've been able to move into denial. Yes, we're very lucky. We have our Omukuka as a cultural leader. By law, institutionalized cultural leader. And then we stand. You know, that's why I wish you had remained in Bugisu. And then, you know, when they circumcise us, each of us say, we are all men. No man can be above us. Say, now, hold on. But the law has created one man as an institutional office. It's created one man, and the law itself is worded in a very nice way. It's worded as institution of the traditional or cultural leader. It's deliberate English for these legislators. Deliberate what? English, institution of the cultural leader. When you go to the Luganda translation, it's talking about abakulembeze ab'ennono. When you go to the Masaba version, it's talking about barangiris. So the creation of the whole is about the leader as an institutionalized body. It is creating, it's like everything is in this microphone. And any authority needs to flow from that leader. And what has happened to us? We don't want to accept that. Now, we are busy pulling ourselves. One is running this way, one is running that way. When we came to language orthography, we started tearing each other apart. No, I am the original. No, the original. How far are we going to claim who is original? Are we not able to have mutual respect for our diversities? Can we get unity by suppressing our diversities, or should we get unity by having mutual respect for our diversities? Those are some of the questions we need to look at. Are we able to solve our problems by being honest and putting the facts on the table, and we are able to identify the key issues objectively and address the options? Or are we going to do so by being in denial?
Yesterday afternoon.
These are the issues. When Domukoka came into office and having realized these issues, he set up a 10-man commission. And some people said, oh, where do you get power from? He said, no, but I'm an institutional office. Oh, I receive power from the law. And the mandate of the Domukoka is just in two phrases. One, promote development for all, wherever they are. Two, to promote and preserve the culture. Another mandate has been added under the Culture and Monuments Act, thanks to our leaders. Look at all the culture things and preserve them. And I would want to assure you that, for example, one of our biggest cultural events is the Imbari. We are in the process of trying to ensure that we get the intangible assets protection. Because even those who ran away from circumcision, now that's the Kadodi. So that's where we are at the end of the day. So that mandate in those two sentences is a very big mandate. But that mandate cannot be operationalized until we calm down and look at the facts and deal with them. Until we're able to discuss these issues objectively and be able to address them. Until we're able to build an institutional framework that is able to connect properly with NAMCA in here, with IMUCA, and the grassroots people on the ground. Yesterday we had a small discussion. We were saying, hold on. You know, Uganda, somebody explained to us, I don't know who was explaining to us, why the Uganda, the Kabaka Kwedilas, the Kabaka is from the mother's clan.
It was spoiled with sunshine and it was warm.
It was deliberate so that no clan takes absolute control of leadership. Because whenever you marry in another clan at the end of the day. Now, when you go back to Bugisu, our clans are small. Every hill has a clan, maybe even two.
We've got these sharp showers.
And when we did our analysis, which I cannot share at this time, which I'll share another time, we said, no, hold on. Bugisu has about 2,000 clans. All of them, every sub-county has about 5 of them, if there are few. Some of them you may find 10. So I asked somewhere, somebody said, no, why? Exactly, I know who gave the reason why they created small clans, so that they can marry each other. So if you needed a wife, the next door neighbor across the stream, you have a clan. In that area. Now, we are saying that is difficult with getting each of these clans to have one vote. and let them
And that's stuff
Right.
like wet and ordinary, it's the main
so that they are able to own.
When
When it comes to language, we said no. Let us have two major language orthographies. One to address the major upper north, and the other to address south. Then you can address the issues of South Bududa, down in Sukuya, around here, Busoba. Is it Busoba? Yes, address them in one orthography. Then you are able to address the issues in Bufumbo, Bualasi, and the rest of Upper Budadiri in another one language orthography. And then have them together, and then you can reconcile. The other day, Professor Florence asked, in some cases, you find Masaba written with a single A. Then a new invention came, writing with a double A. I say, hold on. Then you used to have Kuka with single U. Then you have now the what? U. Then you're asking, where did the double A and double U come from? So these are simple issues, but when we put too much emphasis on them, I can assure you we miss the bigger picture. Today, I would like to take this opportunity to tell you that, and Catherine said, we need to document. We've documented this analysis. We've documented the proposals in terms of principles, so that we're able to know how do we relate with everything under principles. And our appeal to NAMCA and IMUCA that are here is we want you to be able to provide input. Appreciate the genesis of these issues, provide input to each of these principles so that we are able to get on the same page. Where we have divergent views, let us look at them. Let us look at the key issues we have to address. Because I found the biggest problems we have back home, even here, basically three. One is lack of information. And sometimes we even when it's put before you, you don't look at it and say, have you looked at it? No. The other is abundance of misinformation. I don't know why we're very quick to have misinformation everywhere. And then you wonder, where are we going? And then the third one is deliberate distortion of information. I believe if we're able to face all those three factors, believe me, organizations like NAMCA are going to grow from strength to strength. And we are coming from one of the richest sub-regions. Bugisu is one of the richest sub-regions. Our chairperson of Bugisu Cooperative Union here. One time I used to see a big Kipande at Coffee Development Authority. Uganda, the home of Arabica. No, the home of Robusta coffee. So I said, but what happened to our Bugisu Arabica? So I go and ask the people of UCPA. They say, but you see, the supply is not even enough. You advertise something which is in short supply. Then I went to find out they had created all kinds of names, Zippy coffee, white coffee. I said, what happened to Bugisu? Maybe chairperson will tell us where is Bugisu. Disappeared. The strongest brand, I am told I don't know how we used to buy independence, but I am told that we paid some of the money for independence. Now, when I'm going home, there's that place in Jinja, that Java where you stop and take coffee. They have got all kinds of coffee there. Renzori special, and I can assure you there's no Bugisu Arabica. But meanwhile, the bulk of the people stop there at the Bugisu. So I was wondering whether chairman did not tell them to put ours there. Or these people don't know that actually we are owners of all the Arabica coffee. I don't want to go much. If I'm left alone, I can assure I can speak for the next 2 hours. But The rest, I want to assure you, we need to have a candid discussion on these issues. President, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Sure, for your thanks.
Thank you so much, Counsel. When a lawyer speaks, sometimes you are careful to speak after him. But that was quite enlightening.